Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. Today, we need to talk more about this whole server issue that's been going on for almost a month now. It's crazy to think. And I also want to briefly talk about ranked being down, because that's another thing that some people have been confused about in my comments section. So let's actually talk about that first. Ranked is down. If you come on over here to the Play It tab, click on Ranked. Yeah, this is, this is broken. What the heck? I don't see my rank, I don't see the leaderboard, there's a join queue button, but I can't click on it. Doesn't work. So what the heck is going on with ranked? Well, this is actually intentional. This is not a bug, your ranked is not broken for some inexplicable reason. They actually made a post about this on, x.com. Yeah! God, I hate this website. Yeah, so to prevent erroneous loss of TP from the server issues and from, I assume also, the cheating epidemic that's going on in Ranked, at least at high elo, where cheaters are rampant, they have disabled Ranked, not permanently, but until their second hotfix, which has a projected date of June 19th. So for the majority of this month, you will not be able to play Ranked whatsoever. And yeah, I don't think enough people saw that. Judging by the view count, which I don't trust Twitter view counts, judging by the amount of likes and the amount of comments, this probably didn't get enough traction. And so that's why some people are confused about Ranked being inactive. I wish they would make a post about it in-game here, because on this tab all you have is... Actually, I should go back over here. All you have is just... Yeah, chess. You don't have anything about ranked being down. I really think they should put a post in here. But yeah, ranked is down right now for the reason of the servers being just a mess right now, which really is a bad look for the game. Because, well, the servers have been breaking for weeks now. And while it's mostly focused on EU, they have also been reported to be breaking on pretty much every other server. And as a result of that, they have shut down Ranked, which means casuals are the only mode you can play now. Which, I mean, Ranked was a very small portion of the player base, but I still think it is bad optics to have Ranked be gone. But it's also really bad for Ranked to be in the state it's in, so I totally understand why they shut it down, and I do ultimately agree with shutting it down temporarily. But it just sucks that they have to do this, quite frankly. And I still just don't understand how we can be having server issues for almost a month now at this point, and they're still not resolved. They're still not fixed, and that is, I think, a really big issue that the community is having with the game right now. Is it's not fixed yet, and I feel like there hasn't really been enough transparency about this issue. So I published 2 polls yesterday about the Paladins matches being dropped. Are people still getting matches dropped as of June 1st, 2024? So are they getting matches dropped recently, in the past day or two? And, well, as you can see from the results of these 2 polls, yes, the majority of players are experiencing drops. In the poll that asked about NA and EU players, which got the vast majority of votes, about 2/3 of people are experiencing drops. Actually, more than 2/3, 33% and 41%. That's almost 3/4 of all people on NA and EU experiencing at least some matches being dropped. And on LATAM and SEA, it seems like matches are actually getting dropped here too pretty consistently, with 56% of respondents saying that yes, they experienced drops on both LATAM servers, and a further 2/3 of the people who voted for SEA saying that they were receiving drops as well. Having dropped matches anyways, excuse me. So, yeah, that is a massive problem. And if we just go take a look back at the x.com, the hub for Paladins news. Okay, so we have the ranked inactive, and we have this post saying that they continue to investigate resolving disconnections and server disruptions. They've extended the LTM period of Truly Talented indefinitely, which I suppose was kind of a lie, because we got the other LTM now, but yeah. And that's it. That's all I can see here. Without those 2 posts, this quite frankly seems to me like it would be another soundbug situation where the game was plagued by a massive issue, and there was almost no response from the devs. No sort of communication, no saying we understand and we're working on the servers, no updates about like the progress of the server issue being fixed. I just it feels bad to say because I really appreciate the community manager so much. But I just don't think there's been enough transparency in this regard, in my personal opinion. And the amount of comments I get on my YouTube channel about this issue, it's the overwhelming majority of comments, quite frankly. The vast majority of comment engagement recently has been on these polls specifically talking about the issue. A lot of my recent videos actually haven't been getting that much comments, and a good portion of those comments have been about the server issues. And you can just read through these recent comments. You can read through the comments on any video, frankly, and so many of them are about the crashing situation. This whole issue of how it's embarrassing that this issue has dragged on for so long. And just so many comments asking how I'm not crashing, asking if other people are crashing, asking what the heck is going on. There's just not enough communication, in my opinion. And yeah, it really is just so frustrating. And it's frustrating for me as a content creator, too, because, well, it's not fun reading through all my comments and having the majority of them being about the same issue, day in and day out. And it's also not fun to have to worry about, oh, the next time am I going to stream? Am I going to have to shut the stream off because I can't play? Am I going to have to go stream a different game? It really is so scary, honestly. And I have been very lucky, personally, because every time I've streamed, I have not had issues yet. I do play on NA. I'm not an EU streamer or YouTuber, so luckily I haven't had this issue yet. But the fact remains that there's still the majority of people reporting on NA that they are having issues with the servers. And I actually wanted to test for myself and see just how frequently this is happening, or see how easy it is to replicate this dropping issue. Like, can I just queue into a match on EU and have my game dropped? And turns out, yes. Yes! I recorded a video to just record my experiences on EU. I switched the server to EU. This is the first game I played. As you can see, this video is only about, like, 4 minutes long. And you can see I'm on EU because my ping is 93 on the right, and I have the green ping indicator on the bottom left. And, well, just watch this. I'm saying hi to my Saris. I'm getting healed. Thank you, Saris. Alright, let's go press the advance and light Inara on fire. Whoop, here's a fireball, and bye-bye server. The game dropped, and it kicked me back to the main menu, and the game died. First match on in EU. That's a really bad thing for the game, because that makes the game quite literally unplayable. If you cannot complete a match, then the game is unplayable. And if the game is unplayable, people are going to leave. And if people are leaving because the game is unplayable for almost a month on end, that's a big problem. And I'm sure there are going to be thousands of people who will come back to the game, you know? Who will basically just say, oh, I'm going to take a break from Paladins right now, and I'll come back when the servers are fixed. But there are also thousands of people who don't have such a tolerance for this level of bullcrap, and I cannot blame them at all. If a game does not work for weeks on end, if you cannot play the game for weeks on end, then it is the right of players to leave the game and not want to come back. I cannot blame anyone who leaves for this. That said, I really hope people don't leave because of this, because I want the game to survive. And I don't think the game will die because of this, because quite frankly, the game has survived so much garbage over the past almost decade of the game's existence. It survived OB64, it survived the server crisis of 2020, it survived all sorts of waves of bad balance, it survived the sound bug, and it survived the entire year of 2022, one of the worst years in the game's history. And if this gets resolved in the next few weeks, I'm sure the game will survive. But if it keeps going like this, and it keeps going and going, the game will certainly be a lot smaller, and at some point, that will just lead to the game dying, because the longer the game goes with people not being able to play, the longer the game goes with people leaving The longer the game goes without making as much revenue. And if you don't make enough revenue, then you're not able to keep the servers online, and then one thing leads to another, and bye-bye Paladins. So I really, really hope that they can get this resolved soon, and that's really the only thing we can do as a community is hope. Because as much as people like to joke about me being Mr. Paladins, I am just a YouTuber and a streamer. There's only so much I can do, and really the extent of what I can do right now is just try and communicate with you guys, because there hasn't been enough communication from Evil Mojo, and, well, I'm in the same boat as you. I mean, if the servers on NA decide that I'm not allowed to play when I stream, then I'm just not able to stream the game, and that frickin' sucks, and what are we gonna do? So I mean, it sounds kind of like a doomer mentality, but the truth is this is just something that they have to do. And, of course, they know about this issue. They are working to fix this issue. I'm certain of that. I can promise you that. They haven't fixed it yet, and they need to be devoting their full attention to this right now. Any resources that can be put on fixing this issue that haven't been already should be put on fixing this issue, because it's only harming the game, and it's harming the game in more ways than just the obvious of the actual players not being able to play, because this actually reaches even broader, in terms of when content creators aren't able to play the game either, then that spreads to people who might not be playing at the time, but who still consume Paladins content, because, well, let me just show you the Twitch category. So, I'm recording this at almost 9 o'clock at night, which I know is not the peak performance hours for the Paladins Twitch category. But still, look at the viewer count. 182 viewers. That's the entire category, folks. That's really bad. I think that's the lowest the category has ever been. Not this specific number. It's been lower than 182 recently as a result of this fiasco, but, like, these numbers are god-awful. These numbers are so bad that, like, when I go live, at my peak viewer count for the day, I'm I am almost the size of the Paladins category right now. Like, my peak values for any given stream usually peak around like 150. I am Mr. Paladins. Heck yeah, baby, at least on Twitch. And a lot of EU streamers right now just aren't streaming the game. You know, you have amazing streamers like Z1, Unbi, Zarini, Mutu. You have these streamers who, well, I mean, I can check Unbi. He's been having a horrible time playing Paladins recently, and his last stream was 7 days ago, and I can't blame him for not wanting to stream as much these days. Because, well, if you're an EU player right now, if you're an EU streamer, then you literally can't play. You get a match dropped, and then you have to go to NA and risk potentially getting your matches dropped there too, and also have higher ping, meaning that you can't play like a character like Bomb King, for example, if you want to. It's just a mess. And the end result of streamers and content creators being hampered in this way is that when they make streams and when they make videos, they're going to be, well, accurately conveying their experience to their audience. And if their experience is this, where they're literally not allowed to play the game, that reflects so poorly on this game. And that's so bad, because it's super important to have a good content creation base for any game. Because it helps, fortify your active community. It helps with community engagement. It helps to advertise the game for free. It helps with so many things. And if content creators, like many of the Paladins creators in the community, are having these issues, and they're super frustrated with the game, and they're not having a good time, and eventually at some point they just take a break from making content on the game, like Z1 is right now. He's been playing Age of Empires. I hope he's having so much fun with that. But that's just a really awful thing for the game, and that compounds on the issue of the players themselves not being able to play. Like, the players themselves, who get dropped matches, will go to social media, go to YouTube, go to Twitch, and check in on streamers and check in on, YouTubers, and see that they're having the same issue, and they'll just assume that the game is dying. I've had a lot of comments saying that the game is finally dying now. And, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. And you can even start to see the player count dip on the Steam charts. Now, I have to admit, I'm surprised that the concurrent player count hasn't dipped more. considering the extent to which issues are being reported on these polls, and the extent to which I see the issue reported in my comments section. Because, quite frankly, I would have expected a more drastic decline than this. But even just this past week, you can see on Monday, okay, we had a 6K peak. Hey, that's not bad. And then 5K. And then the rest of the week, sub 5K. And this Saturday in particular has me worried. Saturday, June the 1st. The weekend is supposed to be the best time for the game, because that's when most players have free time to actually play the game. You know, they're free from their jobs, they're free from school. And the peak player count on Saturday was 4,557. This looks like a flat hump. This does not look like a spike like how you saw on Monday there. That's really bad. And Sunday is only marginally better. I mean, it got up to 4.8k today. Okay, that's better, but yeah, that's not great. And I know the Steam charts aren't the end-all be-all. They're not a super accurate reflection of the actual player base, because concurrent player count is very different to unique player count, and Steam doesn't show unique player count, nor does it show the player count of Xbox, PlayStation, and Epic Games. But it is still helpful for identifying trends, and the trend is that the game is hemorrhaging players right now. At least in the short term. If you zoom out to the long term, it looks a little bit more stable, although you can still see the drop here this past week. So it does have me worried, to be quite frank. And so at the end of the day, I don't want to be all negative about Paladins, because the truth is, apart from the server issues, the game is very enjoyable, you know? It has a lot of the classic Paladins charm that everyone loves, you know? It has amazing characters like Bomb King that you can play. And a lot of the changes recently have been fun. The truly talented limited time mode is one of the best limited time modes of all time, and it just dropped this update. And, you know, the Moji rework was controversial, but it's clear that the devs are passionate, and they want to make content for this game into perpetuity, and they're making all kinds of fun changes to the game in every single update. And it's just a shame to see all of that be just thrown to the wayside, because the servers are literally making the game unplayable. You cannot enjoy any of these new changes if you're not allowed to even complete a match. And so I know I'm not telling Evil Mojo anything they don't already know, except for possibly my opinions about there not being enough communication regarding this. But yeah, at the end of the day, all I can do is I can just talk with the community about it, engage with you guys, do these polls so we can see just how many people are affected by this, and try and make content where I can. I still haven't had a match dropped yet on NA. I'm very grateful that I don't live in Europe right now. One of the only times where I'm grateful I'm not living in Europe instead of America. But, yeah. I mean, there's always the chance that the next time I stream, I won't be able to play the game. So it's frustrating, and it's super frustrating seeing the comments. And I feel you guys. I'm in the same boat as you, and all we can really do is hope at the end of the day. It all boils down to that. And if Evil Mojo doesn't get their act together and fix this in like the next week, then the game is only going to continue hemorrhaging players, and the optics are only going to get worse. The longer this goes on, the worse the optics get, and the worse the optics get, the more people leave, and it's just a nightmare. And I wish this wasn't happening, but, you know, what can you do? It's just another day in the realm. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. That always helps out the algorithm, as you guys know, if you've been on YouTube for any length of time. And, yeah, I will see you all next time. Peace out.